Okay, that wraps up emails, lesson 1, lesson 3 in your schedule. Before we move on to lesson 2, where we study how to write an effective email, let's recap on what we've covered about the basic email structure. Going forward, once we know how to structure an email, it will be easier for us to learn how to write emails. Here are some of the key points to remember about the structure of an email. First point, understanding what email structures or layouts there are. The basic structure of an email has, firstly, a subject, a short summary of the contents of the email, such as document number 8, if your mail is about the document. It has a greeting, such as dear or hello when greeting the recipient. And it also has an opening sentence. The opening sentence should be about why you're writing to the recipient. It also includes a closing sentence, a conclusion to the email saying thank you or I look forward to hearing from you soon. And lastly, it has a sign-off such as yours sincerely or best wishes. When you're structuring an email, remember to consider how many paragraphs should I write and what should I say first or what should I say last. We then looked at layout, the look of the web page. When considering the layout of an email, you should ask yourself the following. What is the size of the images that we're going to use, if there are any images at all? How big should the margins be? Should we add white space between paragraphs to make it more readable? And how much should we add? You should start an email off with these chunks to understand the email better, then go on to writing the main body of the email. Now, the email screen, second point. We considered how an email may have a different template, but the buttons are mostly the same for all emails. From button, to write your email address, often you can set your computer so it will always come up. 2, who you're going to send the email to, the recipient's email address. A paperclip is there, which you can click to attach a document or file. And we have a send button to send out the email. Use these buttons that allow you to change the font and size of words, but remember, do not make your words too large. It should be legible font size, such as 12 or 14 point type. This makes it easier to read, but not too big that it looks strange. So the subject lines, point 3. We learned how the subject line should be short and eye-catching. A recipient might have a lot of emails in their inbox, so your subject line is important since it has to capture the recipient's attention along with other emails in the recipient's box. Subject line should also be a summary of the content of your email. For example, if you would like to request a day off from the office, your subject line could be request for leave. Bad subject lines are usually vague ones because it forces the recipient to open the email to find out what it is. Bad subject lines such as a simple hi or simply an emoji doesn't leave a good impression and is less impactful. These emails might be left until later or even not opened at all, especially if the recipient receives in excess of 100 emails a day. Here is a tip if you would like the recipient to respond to your email quickly at the end of the subject. You could add, please read immediately. It's good to develop some habits when you're writing emails and make your emails more manageable. Let's consider some good habits. Keep emails short and to the point. Do not write a whole paragraph that has nothing to do with the topic in hand. You should focus on why you are writing to the recipient. Keeping emails short shows efficiency and it also allows the recipient to reply quickly and not have to digest a lot of information. Add things to your calendar. If you have a new upcoming event, you should write it down in your calendar immediately. The third good habit. Get to know the shortcuts on your keyboard. If you spend a few minutes every day learning about the shortcuts on your keyboard, you can save a lot of time. For example, you can click R for reply. More good habits to follow at the end of the second lesson in part 2 of emails next week.